So this is Math 170. Pre-calculus. Are you in the right place? We're nodding. Okay. Everything I do is on the screen in class. I can't get to the screen. So they're coming to rescue me today. One thing I was going to do is we're going to be using a, you familiar with what's called a clicker system, where I'm going to give questions and it's going to be like spontaneous quizzes. But the system we're going to use is online, and it's going to use your devices. I'm not going to give you clickers. So that means that requires that you have a smartphone, some kind of tablet like an iPad or a laptop, or a cell phone that can text. Everyone's got to have one of those 4 things. Okay? If that's going to be a problem, then just let me know outside of class. But I think, in our day and age, most of you have one of those, at least text capabilities or internet with you, okay? Internet online access with you. So while I'm waiting for the screen, let's work on, I was going to try to get as many of you enrolled today and try a few sample questions as I can. So let's try that. So if you have internet access on your person, go to the internet. And the website is www.tophatmonocle.com. Anybody used this system before? Top Hat Monocle? Great. We're all in this boat together. I haven't either. It looks pretty good, though. I've been trying it out. So www.tophatmonocle.com. And I'll give you a minute for everyone to get there. Thank you very much. Anybody having trouble getting there? It's blue and white. The website's blue and white. Right? Yep. And there's like a round desk with shadowy people sitting at the desk. Anyone having difficulty finding that? Okay, so you're going to go to, up in the upper right-hand corner, you see register. We're going to register. If you're going to be using text, if you won't have online access on you in class, you're going to use text, you can do this later. Okay, you can get online somewhere and get registered later, and that's fine. Okay, so go to register, and you will see there's a funky student and a funky teacher. Obviously, you want the funky student, and then it's your lucky day. You're going to get a prepaid subscription, the right-hand side. So sign up. The right-hand link is the prepaid subscription. Here's what I want you to do for school. Just start typing in Arizona, and Arizona State University should come up in one of the first couple choices. Just find a place to sit, like over there in the front. This would be great.
I'm just class here.
Yeah, right. Okay. So you just find a place to sit over there. Right. So for your username, what I want you to try first is your ASU Right ID. This will help me to have your username be your ASU Right ID. Okay, does everyone know what yours is? You know what your ASU Right? You should. Okay, that's like mine is this ID number. That's important. M-1. So it's like first. If you know you're going to be using first. Yeah, so you want to put your cell phone in case you have a problem with your computer or your smartphone, and you want to just use texting. Put your cell phone in. Then what you can do. You agree to the terms. process Enter my your order. ASU Anybody rate having and difficulty?
Tack on 170.
This should not be taken.
What happened?
Okay, so see if your ASU right ID works
Because,
first.
is it giving you a reason?
If you go to type in a school.
And then if
drops
it
you
doesn't,
down.
Then you can tack on 170. You're gonna need the
You can't register.
license key. And I'm gonna give you that right now. So in order to register, you have to be on a laptop or a computer.
It gives you the option, it takes you to the mobile site, but underneath you click corporate, it takes you to the regular site. You can't do it.
So you can't register from the mobile site. Is that what I'm hearing? So you got to go back to the standard site so just go back to this, right? And then if there's an option for a mobile site, don't go there. Just stay on this. In corporate. And so when you get, again, you're going to register and then go to student and then pick the prepaid. You want the prepaid option. Then you're going to put in user ID. It's going to be your ASU right ID. And make sure you get your correct student ID number, 10-digit. Other questions at this point? I see lots of laptops. That's great. Yes, ma'am.
It's saying that the license key is not.
Anyone else getting an invalid license key? Look at it closely. Make sure you got it typed in right. Do I have it written right? Because it seems like it's working. It's working for everybody? Yeah. So just try again. Other questions, problems? Okay, so as I'm just talking about preliminary stuff, you can keep working on that, and then we'll do some sample questions in a second. And if you're going to do text access, and so you won't be able to answer today's questions, that's okay. It won't affect your grade. It'll just be a little less fun for you. Okay. So let me get us going here. Not detecting displays. Source. Why isn't it working? Victory. Okay. So let's just start. I'll just show you the syllabus here. Just to get started. Too much. Okay. Here we are. All right, so we're in Pathways Pre-Calculus. This is me, Mark Ashbrook. I'm okay if you call me Mark. That's perfectly fine with me. If that's not comfortable, then anything respectful. Okay? Mr. Ashbrook, Dr. Ashbrook. I'm not a professor, but hey, it makes me feel good. But I have been teaching here for 12 years. I've been teaching the Pathways version of Pre-Calculus now for 3 or 4. And I've gotten the hang of it, so and I really believe in it, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. It's gonna feel different than math classes you've had in the past, but I think to your great benefit and your great service that's the case. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about that. The best way to contact me is email. Here it is. I'll try to make this a little bigger. mark.a@asu.edu. I have the terrible habit of checking my email all the time, okay? It's great for you, okay? Because I usually can get back to you within a half an hour, sometimes immediately, never more than, a couple hours, okay? My office is ECA 209. I'm still putting together hours. I'll finalize those. Okay, this syllabus is not posted yet because I have to finalize my office hours and I have to get approval on our test dates. So once this is done, then I'll post it on Blackboard and you can download it, print it, whatever you like. Okay. The first thing that's the key essential ingredient that you need is, may I borrow that? This. Essential for the course. This is the Pre-Calculus Pathways Student Workbook. Okay, it's not a textbook, it's a workbook. It consists of worksheets and homework. Okay, so it's divided into modules. For each module, there's a set of worksheets, and at the end of the module, there's the homework problems. And then the next module. You will use this outside of class. I'll be assigning worksheets outside of class, and we'll be doing worksheets in class. So you bring this to class every day. Okay, essential element. Along with this comes online access to the textbook. So when you open this up, you'll have an activation code for the actual textbook. And that's at this website here, www.rationalreasoning.net. Okay, so let's go and take a look at what that looks like. So here's the Rational Reasoning site. You're going to register, and that somewhere along that process you'll need that access code, okay, to register for Rational Reasoning. And once you get registered and logged in, this is what you'll see. Not this. This. So the textbook looks just like the workbook, okay? But this now here says student textbook. A few of you, if you're interested, there may be, you might want to purchase this actual text. I'm not sure how much it is, but it is available for you to purchase if you really prefer or really want that handheld, those pages in your hand, okay? But everything, this textbook is online, so you don't need to do that. So for instance, to access the text, we're going to start in Module 2 in this course. So you go to Module 2, and you'll see text. Okay, and here it is. So on Wednesdays, written homework will be due. On Mondays and Wednesdays, you'll have assigned readings and a little bit of work in the workbook to do before class, and we'll start class with some questions using the clicker system. Just easy questions just to make sure that you did the reading and the worksheets. And that'll be Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays and Fridays. Wednesdays will be when homework's due. So in terms of reading the textbook, you kind of have to get the hang of it. There's this view of it, which actually is like a book, but even if you open it up all the way, if you do full screen on that, for me, it's still too small for me to read on my screen. So it might be big enough on your screen this way, so you can check that out. Okay, if it were big enough, that'd be the most convenient way to do it. If it's too small, like it is on mine, then you go to this plus and you get a page at a time. Okay, and you can use this bar to adjust the size to the size that you want. And then you can grab and move up and down. And then when you want the next page, you just go to here. Okay, the one thing that this textbook has, it has some interactive things. So, like as you're reading, it poses a question. Okay, determine the distance between Kansas City and Louisville. Okay, using the diagram. So then it gives you the chance to think about it, and then when you've made an attempt, then you can click and it'll reveal a possible solution. That's one feature of the text. Another feature is it has their built-in videos. Okay, and so actually you'll see, we'll show you in a second. The reading for this Wednesday, you won't have a written assignment. You will have like a Monday, Friday assignment for this Wednesday, and you'll be reading pages. This is page 2 on the left here. This is page 3 on the right. You'll be reading pages 2 through 6. So 2, 3, there's 4 and 5, and here you see on page 5 there's like a movie camera. So there's a video that's included in this reading. So you're gonna, and it's like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. So as you're doing your reading, if there's ever and I'll try to point this out in the assignment, but if there's ever a movie video that's part of your reading, then you want to watch that video. Okay, you want to watch that video. So to access that video, have the book in this mode. Okay, it may work on your computer, but when I'm in this other mode of one page at a time, the video doesn't turn out right. So to access the video, be in the book mode. So here I'll just start it. And it just comes right up. And then you have...
When solving real-world problems, it is common to represent the numerical value of a quantity measured in...
All right, so you get the idea. The videos are very good, okay? They're great supplements to the written text and to what we're doing in class, okay? So, again, to access the videos, I recommend, or you can try it both ways, but I recommend this format of the book, and then to read, you probably have to zoom in and do the page at a time version. And then over here is where you click the pages. Again, down here is how you change the size of the text. Okay, so you can just experiment with it. If you have questions, let me know. But you'll figure out a way that works best for you. Okay? All right, so we want to get out of here. So we want to... Don't want full screen. Let's see. It's just off the screen. There it is. Okay. Questions about the online text? Really important. Got to have access to it. Yeah. No, you don't. That's just optional. If you absolutely want to have that text that you hold. Now that's different than the workbook. Everybody's got to have the workbook. This is the key element of the course. Everybody's got to have this. It gives you access to the online text. If you want a physical text that looks very much like this but says textbook in your hands, you can purchase one of those and just send me an email and I'll let you know how you can do that. But it's going to cost money, obviously. Okay, so for instance, here is Readings and Workbook. This will be your Monday and Friday assignments, Readings and Workbook. So if you click on that in Blackboard, you'll see Wednesday, January 9th. Read Module 2, pages 2 through 6, and I told you that includes one video. That's the one on page 5 that I just started. And then you'll go to the workbook, and you'll find Module 2, Worksheet 1, and just follow the instructions very carefully. So if you're not sure, read it again, because I'll work very hard to get it so that it's crystal clear without you having to ask me, okay? So just, if you're unsure, read it again. If you're unsure, read it again. If you're still unsure, then email me, okay? But, so this is saying just do number 1, A and B, and then number 2, I think that's like a whole page of different questions, so I'm saying all, okay? And then whenever you have these reading workbooks, questions, then expect the next, so on Wednesday, we're gonna have a real short quiz, like 2 questions, just to make sure you did it. It's not gonna be super involved or technical or a curveball. It's just questions that make sure that you did the reading, okay? And then we'll use the system through class, maybe 1 or 2 questions during class, and then we'll have maybe a couple questions at the end of class based on what we did. And those will be harder, so you got to pay attention, know what we're talking about, and then we'll have the quiz at the end of class will be harder than the one at the beginning. Yeah?
So the quiz and the questions during class will be used with the clicker system?
Yes.
Can we use actual clickers, or do we have to use
Nope.
a phone?
So you got to have a laptop or a smartphone or an iPad or a texting phone. If you have a texting phone, that can work. Yep. Other questions so far? All right, where are we at here? So we talked about this is a good time to talk about how the course is different. So the start of how you're going to learn the material then is kind of on you and on these worksheets. So these worksheets are designed to take you kind of one question at a time to introduce new material. Okay? So I just want you to have the right expectation that when you're coming to a worksheet, don't expect it to be like kind of like homework, like covering what we've already done in class. So the workbook is designed to get you thinking right off the bat, because that's how you're going to learn it better, is if you're engaged from the beginning rather than copying notes for 50 minutes and maybe tuning out and then going back and trying to figure out what I talked about. So the learning begins with the workbooks, the worksheets, and with you. Okay, getting engaged. Then we'll have our discussion after you've thought about it and after you've gotten, after you've done the reading and the worksheets for the class. You'll have a context. You'll have something, some foundation, so that you can listen to me in class, and then we'll go from there. All right. So this course is really going to be about you understanding ideas, not just replicating procedures. So that's how it's going to feel like a different math class than what you may have had in the past. In the past, you may have had classes where the instructor put some examples on the board, and then it was your turn to do something very similar with different numbers. Everyone, can you relate to this? Okay, so that's really more like assembling a piece of furniture from IKEA than it is doing math. Okay, really, or baking a cake. It's like just following a set of instructions. So it's not really mathematics. Mathematics is about learning to think critically, learning to problem solve, and building some tools so that if you come to a new situation, you can do it on your own. You can make progress towards solving some kind of new or different problem than one you've seen before. Okay, so that's more what mathematics is, and that's the goal of this curriculum, is to get you to become better thinkers and better problem solvers. Okay? All right, so we talked about the workbook. We talked about the text. Blackboard, let's see if we missed anything on Blackboard. So there's the home base, which is where there's announcements. And I put your startup tasks, obtain a copy of the workbook, get registered with Top Hat Monocle, do the readings and workbook assignments, first and foremost for Wednesday, and then I've posted Fridays as well. And then we haven't talked about this. You're going to take the pre-test, which is a week from today through Wednesday the 16th. You're going to go on your own time, bring your Sun card. You're going to go to PSA 21, which is in the basement in PSA. That's called the Testing Center. We're going to be taking all our tests there. All our tests in PSA 21. You can go between 10:30 and 6:30 on any of those days. Okay, so you just show up with your Sun card. You don't have to study. Don't bring a calculator. It'll take most of you less than an hour. Okay, do your best. It's a required element. As far as your grade on it, it will just earn you some bonus on the actual exam one. Okay, so depending on how you do. So the better that you do on this pretest, more bonus points you'll get on the actual exam one. So that's the announcements page on Blackboard. I've got your main 4 tasks here. What else do we have? It's the syllabus. Once that's finalized, I'll have that here. Here is a PDF file of getting started with Top Hat Monocle. Most of you will have done this already. We just did it. But if you need this access code or instructions for getting registered and using it, this is like a 3-page PDF. It's this right here. So this is posted on Blackboard with the syllabus, okay, if you have questions. But most of you will be fine. You'll figure it out without it. Okay, office hours, still being finalized, but once we get rolling, if you forget when my office hours are, there's a link for it on Blackboard. Okay, readings and workbook. We talked about that. Written homework. So the first written homework will be a week from Wednesday, and then we'll have it every Wednesday after that, when the written homework is due. Again, the written homework is in the workbook. It's with the worksheets in the workbook. And so I'll reference that by page number of the workbook. So this one's starting on page 55. Okay, that's written homework. Class videos. Okay, so every day I will create a video of class. What the video will be is everything you see on the screen. So I'm going to do everything on the screen. I have a scribble pen. I can write on the screen, and I'll be showing the worksheets on the screen, and everything I'll be doing on the screen. And so the video will be a reproduction of that, and then the audio will be my voice. So you have a full reproduction of class, and I'll post those. After the afternoon of class. Okay. So attendance is mandatory. Okay, I will be taking attendance, but when you're learning something new, after a couple hours, it make perfect sense in class, and you walk out of class going, I understood all of it, got all the clicker questions right. But 4 hours later, 6 hours later, it starts to fade. A day later, it could be gone. Okay, so you're going to need the class videos will be very helpful to refresh yourself, and then office hours. Come get help in my office hours. Okay, I know many professors kind of brush off their students, don't give them time in office hours. I'm not like that. Come to office hours. As much time as I have during those times to devote to helping you, I will. Okay, that's my commitment to you. Okay, exam prep. We'll talk about that when the first exam starts rolling around in 5 or so weeks. Any questions about Blackboard? Or just the nuts and bolts of the course so far? Again, your 4 tasks. If you go to the Blackboard Announcements, you got the main 4 tasks here. You can access that anytime.
The task, we don't have to register to take the test. We can just go into the test.
That's right. Bring your Sun card. When they scan you, they'll know that you're in my class, and they'll give you the right exam. That's right. Yeah.
Do we have a queue to buy?
Yes. Yep. And I will, for all the exams, with a week to go, with a week in advance, I'll give you preparation materials for all of them. Yeah. Other questions? Okay, let's see. What's next? Okay, so a little bit about me. So like I said, I've been teaching here 12 years. I've taught this Pathways version 4 years. Doing pretty good at it by now. I think it's going pretty well. Another thing about me is just personal interest. I'm trying to qualify for the Boston Marathon. And so I will run a marathon in mid-February. And I need to get a certain time to be able to then run in the Boston Marathon. So I'm trying to do that. So if I ever hobble into class, it's because I just had a long training run. Okay? Another interesting thing about me is this is my baby girl. She was born in October. Isn't she great? She's the best. Okay? Future mathematician. Okay, and also notice, so future baller as well. Just got the Converse. Okay, so this is Emma Michelle, born October 16th. Okay, so maybe we'll try and see how this goes. Oh, then you need to, how are we doing on registering now that they've given you some more time? Did you see that there were 2 classes for me? Did you get in the 12 o'clock?
Yes.
There were 2 classes. You should not have signed up for 1:30 but 12. So let's try a question. See how it goes. Any questions before we try this first question? Yes, ma'am.
I'm on a page. I don't know if you can see it. That looks like this.
Nothing.
When I try to click the blue add button, which it says view on your instruction page, it won't do anything.
So how far did you get? Like, what's the
Like, I
last thing you did?
registered and
You registered, and did you get into the 12 o'clock?
No, I didn't register like that way, like when you first start registering,
Okay.
it just took me to like this screen, and then on your like instruction page, it said you can add it this way as well. So when I clicked the blue add button.
How many people are in this boat? They can't. Oh, that's a lot. So maybe can you log out? Log out. Yeah. Did anyone fix that? Did anyone have that problem and figure it out? What to do? Yeah. No, you should see. I'll show you what you should see. So I have this bogus account here. This is a bogus student account. So this is what you should see. Oh, wait. So is this... Yeah, something's wrong. Anyone?
It was working last night.
So something's down with theirs. It's on their end.
Right. And I signed up for it last night.
Let me try logging in as instructor. Okay, so their site is down. No, it was going to be really fun to try this out. It's not cool. So maybe we'll do a little work and we'll come back and maybe they'll be back online again. Yeah, so my idea was we're going to do a couple questions and then we're going to go to this. So we'll just go right to this and we'll check it. When are we out of here? 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll check it again in 10 minutes, okay? All right. So it wouldn't be wrong to say that the whole course, pre-calculus, is about quantities, okay? That would not be an incorrect statement. So let's kind of lay the groundwork here. So real-world situations, that's what math is about. It's about modeling real-world situations. Okay? So in previous math classes, you may have done a bunch of procedural types of things, and then kind of as an afterthought, at the end, if you had time, there was like a word problem, right? And the word problem used this procedure that you had practiced for hours. Okay? And sometimes you didn't even get to that. Okay? So really, the Pathways curriculum is the other way around. We're going to give you a situation and we're say, what is the mathematics that we need to model this situation? Okay? Because really that's what mathematics is about. It's about modeling what's going on in the real world. Okay? So the first thing we want to talk about is that real world situation involve what we're going to call objects. Okay, my laptop, me, your hat, the clock, a car, objects. Piece of cake, right? Objects have characteristics. We're going to call those characteristics attributes. Okay? Attributes. Okay? Some attributes are not measurable. You can't assign a number to it. So what's an example of, say, what's an attribute of this case that's not measurable? It's color, right? It's black. Okay? It's not measurable with a number. Okay? But what is a measurable attribute of this case? How much it weighs, the weight of the case. That's a measurable attribute. So measurable attributes is what we're going to call quantities. Okay, so your idea of the word quantity might be a value, like the number 6 or the number 22. That's not what a quantity is. We're defining a quantity as a measurable attribute of an object. So for instance, weight. Give me another one. Another measurable attribute of this. Length. Give me another one. The mass of it. The height. So maybe this height. The volume, the amount of space that it takes up. These are all characteristics, attributes that we can attach a number to measure it. Okay? So the quantity are those things, the volume of it, the height, the width, the length, the mass, etc. Okay, so this is our definition of a quantity, a measurable attribute of an object. Okay. Can you see what that is? It's a truck. Can you see that it's a truck? It's a very close-up view of a truck, okay? But it's a truck. Kind of pointed away, right? You're looking kind of at the back of it. So the truck is an object. So there are other objects in this picture, but we want to focus on the truck as an object. So name as many attributes as you can of any type, and then which of them are quantities. So think or write down as many as you can. Maybe trade ideas with people next to you. Go. Take 30 seconds. As many attributes of the truck as you can. Go. Yeah, thanks. Okay, who thought of one? Yeah. What's that? Okay, so that sounds like maybe like the capacity. Capacity of the truck, is it measurable? Sure. What general kind of quantity is that capacity? Volume. Okay, what about the volume of the truck? Is that the same thing? No, the truck itself takes up space in this place. So that's something different. So the actual volume of the truck, they're both volume measurements, but they're two different quantities. Do you see that? Yeah, tell me another one.
Mass.
The mass of the truck, good. Shout them out. What?
Speed.
The speed of the truck, okay. If it was moving, sure. That's a quantity of the truck. Or yeah.
What's on that torque?
The torque of,
Is that the truck or the engine?
okay. The engine's torque, okay. Can measure, that's good.
What model?
All right, what model? Is it a quantity? It may use they may use a number, like a truck is a Ford F-150 or something like this, but that's not a quantity. That's just the name of it, right? So the model, that is an attribute, but not a quantity. So, glad you said that. Yeah.
Cost?
The cost. Okay, sure.
The number of bolts on all the different tires?
Number of bolts. Excellent.
Height.
The height. Okay, age, sure. Yeah, these are all measurable. These are all something we can put a number on. So these are the quantities associated with the truck. And we could probably go on for like 30 more, right? There's just so many things we can measure about this truck. Okay? Now the soil. Different object, okay? The soil in the bed of the truck. Name as many quantities as you can. Go. Okay, so maybe let's think of some quantities here, and maybe how about ones that are they're different than we chose for the trucks? Any new ones? Yeah. Moisture content, like a percentage. Sure. You guys got some creative ones. I like it. Yeah. Density of the soil. Perfect. It's a measurement. Yeah.
This might be a bit of a stretch, but the grain, like how thick the individual.
Yeah, so like the sieve that it would fit through or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely measurable. Is that called grain size, someone said? Gradation? Right here in front. Temperature of the soil. Absolutely. Something else. What's that? I couldn't hear. Direction? What do you mean? Okay, so yeah, so if it's just sitting there still, then there wouldn't really be a direction associated with it. But yeah, I guess if it were moving, then yeah, kind of if we're in 3D space, that's your not great. What's that?
How much it swells?
Swell. Wow. You guys are coming up with stuff I've never heard of before.
Purity of the soil.
What's that?
Just soil, or if it's like mixed with something else.
Okay, is that another percentage, like? Percentage of purity, okay? Yeah. Wow, I was thinking like the height of the pile, you know? Sure, okay. It's great. Okay, what's an attribute that's not? So besides the color of it, what's an attribute that's not a quantity for the soil? An attribute that's not a quantity. Okay, like the location? Location that it came from, perfect.
Texture.
The texture, okay. Yeah.
Brand.
What's that?
The brand.
The brand of it, yeah. So all these things are not measurable, they're just labels, right? They're attributes, they're not measurable. Okay, anyone checking on the website? Is it back? Please, maybe. You see something different. You should have a menu on the left that says questions and... No? Sad face. Oh, bummer. So I'm going to go back to the, doesn't even do that. I'll just try logging in one more time, and if that doesn't work, you're off the hook. Yeah, so what you normally would see here is you'll have a menu over here. And that menu will it'll give you access to previous questions, their answers, everything. Okay? So you got your assignment for Wednesday, which doesn't involve this, so only that make sure you're registered because we'll try to have questions at the beginning of class Wednesday based on your assignment.